We're on our way to the gym right now. We're gonna make a class today. I think is gonna be a really good one. We are on the DJI Nano. We're at negative 1.3 exposure value, 4K 24, horizon balance. All right, I think that's the key. That's the key stabilization to be in, horizon balance. And then we are 100 to 8,000 shutter speed, 100 to 800 ISO, and auto white balance, shooting in D-Log. These are the settings that I've been using to kind of get more of that clear look. The way that I think about cinematic videos is the lighting, shaping the light, and then the music, right? I think those are the two things that really help add so much to your video to where you can actually feel like you're telling a story. That's why you see so many videos of people making coffee and doing it in a way where there's music and it's kind of, the pacing is a little bit slow, the lighting is really cool, it's moody. You've seen it where people are sitting at a desk and the sun is shining in and they kind of look off into the distance. You know, I did it in my last video where I was sitting on the bench in the gym and the light was coming through. It was just perfect. So that day was the perfect day to make a cinematic video. Today is very gray right now, very gray, which is why I have the negative exposure value to negative 1.3, because I think I am learning, and I've learned this from Luis and Chris, them talking about the Nano in their videos. It's not the same as the Action 5 Pro, where it's like you can have negative 0.7 exposure value, and that's like the sweet spot. I'd rather have it be darker and lighten it up than have more highlights and more washed out highlights. But you've got to use the exposure value right, in my opinion. And I think that's the thing that has changed the way my videos are. And then using horizon balance, just because with the Nano, I noticed that in my earlier videos with it would be kind of shaky and jittery. And now I haven't used horizon correction too much, but I love horizon balance because it does give you that extra stability just in case you do go too far and your Nano is like, you know, on an angle and you don't realize it. So using these little cameras and understanding the settings and the exposure triangle and, you know, getting better at these, and you can make a whole movie just with these little cameras. We're gonna get into class because it's 8 o'clock already.
She'll do it for you. You're gonna get the Nano just because I say so. This has gotta add, get off my train. Maybe in a perfect world we'd work it out in the next round, downtown bound. But when we hit the next stop, you should go. When we hit the next stop, you should go. When we hit the next stop, you should go. When we hit the next stop, you should go.
Alright guys, perfect example right here. As you can see the sun coming in over here, it's kind of natural light coming in from there, right? And it is shining in this little area here. Obviously, there's lights on. Let me see if I could turn these lights off. Now they're off. You can see that natural light shining right here. This is a natural spotlight. These shadows coming in from here. Natural spotlight. So if you have control over your environment, I would encourage you to play around with lighting and turn off any of this light here. Like even if I turn this light off, we still have plenty of natural light in here, but that's okay. It's not the best. I turn it on, gives some side of the room some light. You get that natural fill, but this is where I want to focus a lot of my framing here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you guys up, and I'm not gonna cut between this. I'm gonna put you guys up magnetically on this pole here. Okay, this pole is magnetic. We're gonna put on the pole here. We're gonna frame it up like I had it in my last video. Now, I'm actually moving this thing, and with the horizon balance, you can't even see that I'm moving it, but you can see that I'm all in shadow right now. I'm pretty much, if not blacked out in shadow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn up the exposure value just a little bit. I'm at negative 1.7 right now. I'm gonna go up to -1 exposure value. All right, I'm in -1 exposure value. Now, I can't really tell too much in my monitor because I'm shooting in that log profile and it doesn't have the color recovery mode. So we're just gonna have to do our best to eye it, but you can see the small incremental change when you're changing it in here. Now, if I wanna get just a really nice static shot. Oh, one thing I was gonna say, I'm moving you with the horizon and you can barely see. I'm moving it quite a bit, but on the screen it looks like I'm moving it just a little bit. So that's pretty cool. That's why horizon balancing works. So now I'm just gonna frame it up, show you guys how I frame this real time. See the FedEx truck? I'm looking at everything. I see the FedEx truck out here. That's cool framing. So if I would go right here in the light, you can see how I frame that shot up, right? I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at the squares on the doors. I'm looking at the FedEx truck out there. I'm using my grid. If you can see it, I'll put it more in the light here. I'm using the grid and diagonal. Now if I want to get light coming in on me, I'm gonna put you guys right here. And now I've got some nice natural light coming in on me. This is where the exposure value makes the biggest difference. So I'm at -1, but I'm gonna turn it back to -1.7. We're at -1.7 now. Because this actually looks like it does have color recovery, maybe if I'm looking at the monitor when it's recording, but when I'm changing the settings, it doesn't. Now, the biggest thing to know is that you can eye it. So I would say, for the most part, trust your eyes, because you can kind of think about the LUT maybe you're gonna throw on, maybe if you're just transferring it to Rec 709, but it does a pretty good job, better than it looks on the monitor with this color recovery mode, so when you put it in post. So -1.7 exposure value from 1 looks way better, way better. I can see I look a little bit more golden. I look a little bit more in frame. Now, when I think about post, I can think about turning up contrast a little bit. Saturation, yes, but it likes to turn my skin a little bit orange. So we play around with contrast, highlights, and shadows most of the time for me. Exposure, I probably do auto settings in the exposure in the thing, because I don't really got to change it too much from in camera. So I hope you guys are being able to see the difference, even if it's subtle, but this is just what helps me. This is my process. So you guys can see what it looks like. The light is shining perfectly through here on me, that natural spotlight. I don't really have to do much. Now I'm moving you back because it is a wide lens, but I want to be able to get the top of my head. So I'm going to do some pull-ups so you guys can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, you see that? That's my best attempt at acting. So I did the pull-ups, and you had the light coming in on me with the shadows in the background, and then I walked into the spotlight. So guys, this is just what I've learned from watching movies, what I've learned from all of you guys out there as well. What I've learned from watching a ton of YouTube is just how lighting and shaping lighting can help tell the story, frame up your shots. And if you have natural light coming in from interesting angles and you have cool framing, that helps a lot too. So it's not just me, it's just a lot of trial and error and knowing what the vibe is. You can see over here I'm a lot darker, but if I come right here and I stay, I'm looking for magnets right now, I'll just put it up here. But, oh, that's magnetic. So look at this, this could be a cool shot here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step out of frame and then I'm gonna walk back into frame, and it's gonna look like a cool POV of me like just gazing into the distance here. I think I hit a cobweb. So you can see that. I want to see what it looks like in here. This is all trial and error, guys. Put my hand on my hip. Look out. Look up a little bit so you can kind of see my face. Just a little bit, and I'm not looking at camera. I'm making it very natural. I can come right here and act like I'm tired against the wall. Stretch a little bit. I can look up at you. What's up? And then I'll bring you right here. And this is where I can cut the angles. So this is where I stitch together a lot of stuff. I could even ask somebody to come and do this. I'm gonna do this real quick. While we do that, let's go to -1 exposure value just to see the difference. Right now we're at -1.7. We're gonna go to -1. And we're on -1 exposure value. So from the top down shot, I had myself kind of right here, sliding down tired. I'm gonna ask somebody to just help me real quick. Catherine, real quick, can you come here? When I say 3, 2, 1, I'm gonna slide down pretending like I just got done. 3, 2, 1, go. Now I'm just like acting now. This is all acting. Okay, that's it. So what I'm gonna do is probably stitch together those little clips so you can see the mini movie.
He was focused on his path, but when ambition meets desperation, lines get crossed. Focused on his rise, he was determined to get it by any means. Let's talk about ambition. Let's talk about that cakewalk. Over here we make it happen. We don't care about what they talk, cause we play on. Hustling raps must become my day job now. Every time I touch down in the city, they're asking me, why don't you stay long?
Sometimes overcorrecting can be too much, and it's a lot of trial and error. Guys, I can't say that enough. Getting out here and actually using the camera, trial and error. As long as you're putting the time and the effort into it, it's gonna show. And I think the sweet spot is anywhere from -1 to -7, depending on your lighting situation. And if you have control over your environment, turn some lights off, play around with it, eye it up, take your time. I hope you guys are excited to use this camera a lot more, or any camera that you have. So love you guys. Again, stay human, get out there, enjoy the holidays, enjoy Vlogmas, and keep creating. See ya.
Had enough, sometimes we victim to them cuffs, cause our upbringing was tough. We getting closer to the edge and our frustration ain't a bluff, but in my temper. Her lack of subjects and connect, it's my racing faster than you.